Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the OCVarsity Gridiron Show Playoff Edition. I'm Dan Albano, Orange County Register, Steve Fryer, and yes, we are talking about the playoffs. First time.
Yeah, it's that time of year.
You're talking playoffs, Coach Moore would say. Yep, we're talking playoffs. First time since 2019. How does that sound to you, Mr. Fryer?
Sounds great. I mean, we got so many great matchups. It's going to be interesting to see how this system works out. All the brackets were created, the divisions created by the calpreps.com ratings. The seedings were done by calpreps.com. So it's going to be interesting to see. You know, one thing for sure is that we've got coaches that are unhappy with the way it's worked out, but coaches are always complaining about it, no matter what style that we use for this sort of thing. So, you know, it is what it is, as they say, and here we go.
I put out a tweet last night is that I basically think the playoffs look really tough,
right?
Especially for some really good Orange County teams. And I think if any Orange County teams can win a division anywhere, I mean, obviously from 1 to 14, if you can win one of these divisions, that's a heck of an accomplishment. And it's worthy of a lot of, you get your props, because as we're going to talk about here in moments, man, there's not a lot of easy games. And I mean, anywhere except maybe if you're, you're Mater Dei or Servite, and you think you maybe have an easier game against, Norco and another rematch with Santa Margarita.
Yeah, and I saw your tweet this morning about that, and it's true. I mean, there's 14 divisions. That seems like it's a tad watered down. I know, and he made a great point. He usually does. Brett Johnson, the Old Toro quarterback, Michigan State, et cetera, great offense coordinator at Mission Viejo. He said he thought it kind of makes it mediocre, and and it's watered down a little bit. And I totally see Brett's point he made. But then what you say about winning these divisions is really good, because these first round, getting out of the first round and some of these things is just going to be really good, And Mike Huntley made the same sort of thing about, man, if you win, and get out of the first round, it's going to be something, because there's a lot of league champions playing each other in the first round. That's a new deal. Yeah. And it's going to be awful tough. There's going to be some really good teams that are going to crash and burn in the first round, Dan. So let's go get them.
All right, let's talk about those first round games. This is a good game coming up on Thursday. How about Dana Hills with Bo Kelly, senior quarterback, multi-sport athlete there at Dana, who's thrown for over 3,000 yards, taking on El Medina from the very tough Crestview League that was highly competitive for 3 weeks with some very close games. Yorba, El Medina didn't win one of those games. They were in some tight games for sure. Who do you like in this game?
I'm looking forward. I'm covering this game on Thursday. I'm looking forward to seeing Bo Kelly sling it around the field. Should be a lot of fun. I think El Medina's defense is very physical, and I think they can negate a lot of things that Kelly and company will do. Mason Hitchens, former coach Jason Hitchens' son, having a really good season, leading tackler over there for the Vanguards. So I think the physicality and what they've gone through prepares El Medina better for this game, and I think Elmo's going to win.
Okay, and I think I'm also picking El Medina because I think they have seen some high-powered offensive attacks.
Yeah.
Just to give you, and I'm going to try to do this throughout our games. We have an expanded list of games this week for our predictions. The Cal Preps ranking on this one. This is Division 5. It has El Medina 28-20 over Dana Hills. So that is going to be an interesting one. All right, let's move to our Friday night games. This is the Valley Sports West game of the week, and I think they made a sneaky good pick in this one. How about Simi Valley, 10-0? They're ranked, I think, 14th in the division, but undefeated, averaging almost 45 points.
Yeah.
They have some interesting personnel. Taking on Orange Lutheran, finally gets out of the Trinity League after 5 brutal weeks. And Orange Lutheran did not have any easy games in the Trinity, because they just barely beat J. Sarah 9-7. Right. This game is the Valley's game of the week. Pretty interesting matchup. Olu coming off a last-second loss in Week 10 to Santa Margarita in the Fog Bowl at Saddleback College. I guess Simi Valley's got a quarterback who's committed to Oregon State, but has been injured. They've been playing a freshman, Steele Zilla. He's pretty good. They have a good running back. But word is that from Greg Biggins, who's going to be on the call for Valley Sports, is that Simi Valley maybe is not the biggest team in the trenches. That could be interesting. But I mean, I'm picking Olu. Is that who you're picking in this game?
Yeah, I'm going to the Orange Lutheran too, because, you know, again, the strength of schedule and what they've gone through, et cetera, and they're a program that's on the rise. Simi Valley has a coach who knows how to win CI football games. It's Jim Benkert.
Yes.
And he used to coach at Westlake, Oaks Christian. He's been around. That guy knows how to prep a team for the playoffs. They have the senior quarterback who's going to Oregon State. I got to look at his name here, Travis Throngmorton. He played some in their last game.
Yeah.
He's a senior. The freshman's been playing mostly while he was recovering from injury, an MCL injury. So I think the senior quarterback may be back in this game. I don't know, but for sure, like you say, Orange Lutheran, you know, interior line play is where it's at in football, and I think Olu has a advantage there. And like you, I'm going with the Lancers.
And speaking of quarterbacks, we got to mention Logan Gonzalez, who's had a very strong year, an improved senior year, completing 62% of his passes, almost 2,400 yards. And you know, he's had an outstanding season. And
and he's getting well tutored by Chris Ricks. Chris Ricks works with him. He's getting some good coaching.
And of course, Aaron Corp, the offensive coordinator. So there's two.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
I guess I do have to check. We'll have to check. One of us should check on the condition of Jalen Litch, who's been a breakout wide receiver. I think that maybe something might be up with him. Maybe he didn't play that much against Santa Margarita in week 10.
Right.
So that's one of us got to check on that one. All right, here's another outstanding game, keeping with Division II. And you'll see, I think this division is very exciting. And just in case anybody's wondering, the big boys in Division I don't play this week. There's a bye. So that's why the glamour round this week is Division II. How about Yorba, 10-0, firmly in Orange County's top 10, taking on Bishop Amat, going to the pit. And the first round of Division II, that is a very interesting game. And there's a very interesting injury situation with Bishop Amat, their quarterback, last week against Sarah. The third quarter, Tobin Odell, who's a very good player for them, I guess came up with an ankle injury. I don't think he returned. Right. His status is interesting. You pit the execution and some of the depth of Yorba against a higher profile team from the Mission League, Bishop Amat, who played Servite and St. John Bosco. That's quite a schedule. And Coach Bailey's team played a great schedule too, coming out of the Crestview League, non-league games against Orange and San Juan Hills. But who do you like in this one?
This is the toughest one on the board for me to look at, Dan. Okay. I tell you, and I think that you're thinking the same thing. You know, I don't know about the Odell situation with the ankle. You know, we don't get injury reports. We cover high schools, so we're kind of flying blind on some of these things. But I really like that defense of Yorba Linda. Great set of linebackers with Wyatt Mosier. And I think that they can get the job done. I've seen them play. Ryan Beal, their quarterback, Yorba Linda, man, that's the guy's one of the calmest guys in the world too. Good leader, junior, plays really calm. I think he manages games really well. I think Jeff Bailey's a bit of a brainiac coach, and I think he's a pretty solid coach. And you know, he's kind of a quiet guy to talk to, but I think he's like a really sharp guy. Yes. And he's proven that. Nobody needs to hear me say that, but he's proven it. I think he's going to have these guys ready. Playing at Amat is tough, really tough. But I think, you know, it's a 100-yard field and all that. And kids can just focus on that. They'll be okay and win the football game. I like the Mustangs Yorba Linda coming away with a really close win. That would be a heck of a win. Yeah. This seems like however, you are going to go with Amat, aren't you? I'm picking Amat. I think that's a logical pick. It seems like a big ask here of the Mustangs, where they're going up to Division II. They've never been this high before, right?
we're going to see maybe a different different kind of caliber of athlete, perhaps than they have seen this year. And being on the road, but obviously we'll have to see what the injury is. I think that is a key injury with the quarterback. We'll have to see. I won't be shocked if Yorba wins, but I'm picking Amat. The Cal Preps has got this one 35-31 favor of Amat. So,
you're worried about Amat's team speed, aren't you? In terms of how Yorba matches up on that.
Yeah, I think covering some of those receivers for of Amat could be an issue.
Yeah,
but Yorba is going to have, they have their own good receivers and they have a lot of depth. They execute well. They have multiple running backs. I'm a real big believer in Beal. I think he's outstanding.
Yeah.
And Coach Bailey has got a great coaching staff. They are very well coached. They coach up. Coach Haggerty does a great job at Bishop Amat as well. So it's going to be a really good game. It is pretty amazing though to see Yorba in Division 2. I mean, what's next? Is Yorba going to be in Division 1?
I don't think so.
All right. So also in Division 2, this is another interesting game. Corona Del Mar against Warren. So the last time we saw Sea Kings in the playoffs, 2019, they were state champs. They were 16-0. And here they are back in the playoffs taking on Warren. These teams, interestingly enough, have a common opponent in Downey. Maybe that's Coach Ken O'Shea, forecasting things. That was the opener for Sea Kings. Both of these teams beat Downey, but this one is real interesting too because you have Corona Del Mar in that defense, which is kind of the calling card of Coach O'Shea, is taking on 6'6" junior quarterback Nicholas Ima-Leva, who is one of the top guys around, an up-and-coming junior quarterback who's got 33 touchdowns and only 1 interception. This was a tough game, I think, on the road for Sea Kings, despite coming out of the very competitive Sunset League. What do you got in this one?
I got Warren of Downey. I think that quarterback's really good. He's got, what do you say, 33 touchdowns? And he's got 3 times as many offers. Everybody wants that guy.
Yes.
He's something special. And I think, and I've seen Corona Del Mar play. Good team, good team. I saw him lose to Los Al, and that was mostly because Los Alamitos played really well. But, I wouldn't, we know Dan O'Shea and company can coach like heck. And the Corona Del Mar guys are tough. They're a tough group of guys. But I think the skill set of Warren, ranked 21 or something in the state. I think Warren's going to get this one.
All right. Well, I agree. I'm also picking Warren. I think it's going to be a great game. I think Corona Del Mar, they played a solid schedule. Like we said, they the Sunset League, they played, San Clemente, they played San Juan Hills. They've seen some athletes. This guy, Nicholas Ima-Leva, looks very special quarterback as a junior. So, all right, here's another one we've talked a lot about on the Gridiron Show this year, and rightfully so. I'm sorry. Before I leave that, Corona Del Mar, I believe they have, Cal Preps has Warren winning that one 28-24. See how all these scores are coming back very tight. How about Foothill? We've talked a lot about the Knights on the Gridiron Show this year. I think they have an interesting game. Home against Ayala. Ayala, of note, that's the team that beat La Habra, handled Tustin. This looks like a pretty tough game. You think the Knights can get victory? I think it'll be 201 career wins now for Coach, if he gets it, Coach Doug Case.
I'm a big believer in consistency, Dan, in whatever we do in our lives. And since I've been picking against Foothill week after week, and Foothill keeps doing the easy job of making me look stupid, I'm picking against Foothill again. I told Doug Case that the other day. I'm picking against them. I'm going with Ayala. Their only loss is to Glendora, which is a 10-0 football team. And as much as I like Austin Overn and all those guys, I think Foothill is really exciting and fun to watch and playing with a gosh darn purpose. I gotta to guarantee a Foothill win, I'm picking Ayala.
Okay. And I'll just go more conventional route and just go with Foothill to win this game. But I think it's going to be good. The Cal Preps projection Foothill winning 26-21 this game in Division 3. All right. So again, with this theme of the new playoffs, the power rankings, how tough these games are. Here's another county team that's 10-0, Irvine, who had Irvine 10-0, one of their best seasons in years. But they're all the way in Division 4. This is another one that just surprises me. Irvine Division 4, they're higher division than Tustin. We haven't talked about. They're higher than La Habra. They're not that ranked high in Orange County, I don't believe. But
Right.
Irvine, nonetheless, 10-0 on the road, no less, at St. Francis, which is 8-3 with a forfeit win. But it says St. Francis, just like Bishop Amat. They're from the another highly competitive, not a strong private school league in the Angelus League.
Right.
This seems like another tough spot for Irvine, getting out of Orange County by a long stretch, going up to take on St. Francis in the Flint Ridge area, La Cañada area. But who do you have in this game, Fryer? You think Irvine can go on the road, get to 11-0?
No, I think St. Francis wins this game. They've played a really good schedule. They beat St. Paul. They've got losses to Loyola, Damien. I think the Loyola loss was only 6-3 or something. Loyola's rating is like 40 point something, according to the CalPreps computer. By the way, CalPreps computer, he doesn't see a lot of the CalPreps computer. I've never seen the computer in the press box watching teams play. Something I like about football, I like to see how physical teams are in the fourth quarter. I don't know if the computer has seen that. And also the computer sometimes doesn't seem to look at head-to-head matches. Sierra Canyon, Norco, Exhibit A. Norco's Division I, Sierra Canyon's not. But I like St. Francis in this game. I think Irvine's done a wonderful job getting to 10-0. But I think this is a different level of football, and St. Francis will show that.
After all this time we've been spending with CalPreps, this is what you say about them, Fryer. We have been spending hours upon hours with CalPreps, and because you haven't spent time with them and you don't like their head-to-head rankings, this is what you have to say about CalPreps. Man, I thought we were buddies with CalPreps.
Well, let me tell you something. I love CalPreps because it is such a clean site and I use it all the time, man. But, I'm sure that the computer would disagree with me on a lot of things too. If we were to sit down for dinner, I'd have tacos and the computer would eat pieces of paper or something. I don't know. But I think there's still the human element of seeing teams, watching how they play, how they comport themselves. I think that's a big part of how you figure out who's going to win a football game. I'm old.
My human element has been so poor this year. I am trailing you by 4. I can't say anything. So but I can say I am picking St. Francis.
Okay.
Their running back, Matt Garrison, I think it is.
Aren't you glad we're in the spelling business?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
It's Garrison, 266 yards in his last game, 4 touchdowns. So that's going to be the matchup with Cameron Goods. Tom Reese has done a great job this year.
Yep.
They're
Coach of the Year candidate.
Yes. And just like Coach Bailey said at Yorba, both these public school teams that are 10-0, they're up for the challenge against these private schools from the bigger leagues. We'll see how it goes. Hey, and all kinds of things to talk about in the opening round of the playoffs. How about put a number 16 seed defeat a number 1 seed? Because that's what could happen if La Habra, number 16 in their division, and I think that's Division 5, taking on top seed Tustin. And this is a game that you're going to be covering also on Friday night. Tustin's the host seed. Who do you have in this one, Fryer?
Tillers. Toby Schmidt's been on fire lately. They're getting a lot of things together. Every week, Tustin's gotten better, right? A couple little hiccups here and there, but every week Tustin gets better. And I think that their confidence level is sky high, and they've really put things together. Coach Anthony Lopez done a really fine job over there. La Habra was 0-5 non-league, but there was really difficult schedule. And then they did their traditional 5-0 run, which they do almost every year in the Freeway League. But I think Tustin's played some tougher teams in the Empire League with Pacifica, etc.
Cyprus champions.
Yep. And so I think Tustin's ready to go, and I think they're going to get the W in their at their home field. And yes, I will be there in the press box, which is about the size of our Ford Expedition.
Yes, there's one spot open, and it's just for you, Mr. Fryer. I hope you see Myron Miller there. Maybe he'll be showing up.
I hope so. I love Myron.
I saw Myron earlier this year at Tustin. Got to talk about back in the day. Some Deshaun Foster, but
and Tustin's got a great public address announcer too. I love that guy. I forget his name off the top of my head, but he's great.
Yeah, I think it is. Yes,
he's a teacher there. He's a great guy.
Miller, Keith, I believe it is, right?
Keith, it is. You got it, pal. He's good.
So if I got your name wrong, I apologize. I think it's Keith. When this first came out, this game, I immediately thought, oh, could La Habra pull this off? They were 7-time CIF champions under Coach Mazzotta. I think if you look at the numbers a little bit deeper, they did go 5-0 traditionally, like you said, in the Freeway League, but they struggled at times as well. I noticed in their game 9-point victory over improved Troy, they actually got outpassed by the wing T offense of Troy, and they did outrush, and were more physical in the trenches than Troy, which is a good ground team. So it's a little bit different. It's quite a bit different feel for La Habra, which I think is kind of reloading mode this year. I think they have some important juniors, including Justin Gill. I think better days ahead for La Habra. And one guy I really like as well, Toby Schmidt, Dominic Flores, playmaker there,
receiver. Yeah, definitely.
He could be a huge weapon in this game.
Yeah, he could be a handful. Break him down, man. How'd we do?
Last game, one more game to go.
I thought we were done.
Sunny Hills. We got to talk. When you got two Orange County teams colliding in the first round of the playoffs, those are special matchups. We talked about Elmo Dana. Just talked about Habra-Tustin. How about Sunny Hills, Newport? Maybe this game flying under the radar. A test of the depth of the Freeway League. That Sunny Hills got second. They have been on fire recently. Talking about recent playoff success, winning a CIF championship. Coach Kiravadis doing a great job. Got David Mayhood running the ball well. Dylan Lawson. Then here comes Newport coming out of that brutal Sunset League. Hard to judge them when you say, hey, how did you do against Los Al, Edison, Corona Del Mar? Well, they didn't get the job done against those teams. And they played a really tough schedule. That's why they're in the playoffs as an at-large at 3-7.
And the third-seeded team.
And the third-seeded team. Coach Lofthouse, obviously, working hard there. So pretty good coaching matchup. Sure. Who do you like in this one at Newport?
Sunny Hills. Running the football is the thing they do so well over at Sunny Hills. And I think that gets them a win. Newport Harbor, I've seen them play. Nick Kim's a good quarterback, Cashton a fine receiver, right? But I think Sunny Hills. Is going to win this one. And what I think is these all look like close games, don't they? But I think this is a close one. I think Sunny Hills takes the W.
This was a hard one to predict because Sunny Hills, they were my pick, but I don't know. They didn't really show up that well against La Habra. That's a Sunny Hills team. Did upset El Medina earlier this season. Then lost
16-10.
Lost to Brea. Brea turned out to be pretty good.
Yep.
But I think the team that maybe makes the least amount of mistakes in this game, like a lot of games, could be a very important win. But I think that's going to be an interesting game. I'm going to be covering that game for the Register. I'm looking forward to seeing that all county matchup. So, you've got the lead on me on these predictions, but season is not open. It's the second season now. Maybe I can catch you.
Perhaps so. We'll find out. I think we have some conflicts in some of these games and some of our decisions, like Yorba, Bishop, Amat. And I totally get the Amat pick, but I got this feeling about the Yorba guys. And then, of course, I've got to pick against Foothill because there's no way I'm going to end that jinx. Foothill, I like Doug Case and I like the boys over there a lot. And so to do them a favor, I'm picking against Foothill again.
There you go. Well, good job. Way to put in your effort. So be sure to follow Steve Fryer's predictions coming up in the paper. All our coverage. Fryer's going to be at games on Thursday, Friday as well. A lot of good county matchups. So hope everybody enjoys the return of the playoffs. And thanks for following us here on OC Varsity.
Thanks, everybody.